Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today we're going to be making the most requested recipe from Southern Living Magazine. So we're going to be making a hummingbird cake. But before we get started, let me just say, if this is your first time here, you love food, you love fun, you are in the right spot, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All right, so yes, we are going to be making a hummingbird cake. And even though it's the most requested recipe from Southern Living Magazine, it's not actually their recipe, or I don't think it is anyway. It's a recipe that I've been using for years. And so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and spray. I've got 3 pans here, so this is a 3-tiered cake. And I'm going to spray all of my pans and set them aside. Look at these cute little pans I found at Aldi's the other day. They're like speckled, like for Easter. I think they're so cute. All right, so we're going to set that aside. The next thing we need is 2 cups of mashed bananas, which I already have down here. And then to this, we're going to add 1.5 cups of oil. We're going to add in 3 eggs, a can of crushed pineapple, undrained, so you want to make sure you leave the juices in there, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to put my paddle on my mixer here, and we'll go ahead and give this a whirl. All right, I think that's good. So I'm going to push this out of the way for just a second, and I'm going to work on my dry ingredients. So I've got 3 cups of flour there, and I'm going to add in 2 cups of sugar. Hopefully I have enough room in my bowl here. And then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then one other thing I'm going to add that I really like. Now, the recipe usually doesn't call for this. It just happens to be something I really like. And it's called cardamom. And I love this for, I put it in apple pies. I put it in spritz cookies. So I'm just going to give it a couple of shakes in there. I just love the flavor of it. All right, so I'm going to stir this up really good. All right, so now I'm going to push this aside, pull my mixer back, and start adding some of the flour in. So I'm just going to do this in increments until it's all blended in. All right, I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my paddle off, toss this in the sink. I hope I don't make a mess everywhere. Grab my bowl, and then let's push this out of the way. We're just going to split this up evenly amongst these 3 pans. Hopefully I can get it even without having to measure everything. I think this one needs a little more. All right. And this cake is just for us, so it's not like I'm going to be giving it as a gift. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do like it to be pretty. It's hard to tell if they're all even though. Okay. A lot of times when I make this, I just do it in 2 layers, but I know traditionally it's done in 3. And I just got these new pans the other day, so I wanted to go ahead and make the 3 different layers. All right, so I'm going to transfer all these to the oven. It's going to go in at 350 degrees, and we're going to bake this for about 25 minutes. And then while this is in the oven, we can go ahead and make our icing or our frosting. All right, so while we're waiting on our cake to finish baking, we're going to go ahead and make our frosting. So a lot of times I just use a cream cheese frosting or what you would normally put on a carrot cake. But today we're going to make a pineapple frosting. And I love this because it's creamy, it's luxurious. We're going to put a little bit of half and half in here. And to get started, I have got 6 tablespoons of butter that I kind of softened up just a little bit. And to this, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of lemon zest. All right, that's probably pretty good. So let's add in a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches. We need about 1/4 teaspoon. And then it calls for 6 cups of sugar, powdered sugar. And I believe, if I remember correctly, a full bag of powdered sugar has about 7 cups in it. And I used a little bit out of here yesterday, so I'm probably going to need the entire bag. And let me put my paddle back on here real quick. All right. And we'll just add this in a little bit at a time. We're going to alternate powdered sugar and pineapple juice. I have a 1/2 cup of pineapple juice here. I got a feeling I'm getting ready to make a mess again. The last time I did this, a full stick of butter went, or half a stick of butter went flying out the side of the mixer. Whoa, we gotta lock it down first. There we go. So I'm just gonna alternate, like I said, powdered sugar, a little bit of pineapple juice. And I'm gonna keep going until I've used the entire bag. All right, once all of our powdered sugar and pineapple juice is incorporated, I don't know what's correct. We're just gonna add in a couple of tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And then we'll blend this. All right, that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off of here and set this aside, and then we'll wait for our cake to get done. I wish you could smell this and smell the pineapple. I bet I could probably just use this for a fruit dip. It smells so good. All right, we are just waiting on our cake. All right, so my cake is all cooled off. I've got my 3 separate layers here. And I'm just gonna turn this over. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and ice it on here, and then I'll transfer it to whatever serving platter I want to put it on. I haven't quite decided yet. So we're just going to go ahead and put some icing in the center. I'm going to use my large spreader, and we're just going to smooth it all the way out to the corners. Even though the cake's cooled off, from pulling that parchment off of there, I can really smell it. So this is the cutting board that doesn't want to stay still, but it's kind of helping me out today because it's going to spin this cake around for me. So all the way to the edges. And we'll go ahead and add our second layer. Okay, so some more icing on our second layer. We're going to spread this out. All right, that looks good. Time for our final layer, which I accidentally cracked just a little bit, so let's hope it stays. Try to get this parchment off first. Yeah, it's got a crack in it, but I think it's going to be okay. There we go. Need to scoot it over a little bit, just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Some icing on top, and I'm going to go ahead and put some icing on the sides. Actually, I'll just do the top. I'm not the best at icing cakes. One of the things I really like to do when I decorate a cake, though, is get the icing or the frosting where it's all melting and you can just pour it. A lot of times, so it just pours everywhere, covers the whole cake, and it's really pretty when you get those drips. So I read somewhere, and it worked perfectly. I tried it. If you freeze your cake and then pour on your icing, it'll stop the icing, and you'll have those pretty little drip marks. So that's a handy little tip. All right, so we're just going to spread this all over, all the way to the edge. And let's get quite a bit more on here. That way we can just spread from the top down to the sides. I told you, I'm not the best at icing cakes. I should be. Cake is like my favorite food. If I had to pick one food, I think it would be cake. Because, you know, you can make corn cakes. You can make them savory. I would never get tired of eating. All right, it's getting there, I think. Slowly but surely. I thought I would try to use this. I always see them using something like this. This is for my pastry, but I thought maybe this will work. Oh, yeah, it kind of makes a nice smooth edge there. Let's get some icing up there and cover those spots up. One thing I forgot to mention was I had to just look it up and find out, why is it called a hummingbird cake? I think that's kind of odd. And I guess it originated in Jamaica, and that is like their national bird. And another name for that bird, I think, is Dr. Bird over there, I think I read. Anyway, I think it was the following year also that it won best cake at the Kentucky State Fair, I believe it was. So I thought that was all pretty interesting. Well, I didn't do the best job. Let's see what happens if I take this over the top. I'm not the best at cake decorating, but, you know, what matters is how it tastes, right? Let's see if I can spin it around and do a design. That's not too bad. Look at that. I don't know. I'm going to keep playing with this. And I'm actually not going to eat this or cut it yet because tomorrow's actually Easter and I want to save it for then. So anyway, give this a try though. It is a delicious, it is super moist, and I think you'll love it. We can taste the pineapple frosting. I almost forgot about the lemon in there. It's so bright and citrusy and it just plays so well. with the flavor of the pineapple. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.